In theory.
I
We're
will.
live. So I had this mental image as I was pulling up in the driveway of like me sliding into home base, and then I thought for a split second, like, that sounds like fun, that'll surprise Chris, and then I realized, fucking stairs.
Greetings.
Hi,
Stay
everybody. No,
Axis.
I don't want to listen to you.
Axis, come here. Come say hi.
Inappropriate.
Come here. Come sit. Hi. Yes.
Come here, buddy.
Come say hi to the internet. We've already said fuck.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We've already said fuck, so.
We're live! Yay!
Woo! So we got Barbara and Cirque and Pan. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. This is not what I intended on live streaming tonight. As I was telling Jess just now, my emulation PC shit the bed again, and I can say shit the bed. I was trying to think of what I was going to say,
You know,
and then
and
just,
I just
broke
lubed that
it.
right up for you. I preheated the oven so you could stick in the turkey.
Hi, Axel. Your purring is actually cheering me up right now, son. Thank you. How about you sit and be a good boy? You are just such a lovey boy right now. So I'm going to just be doing some Colosseum battles, because there's a lot to it. This is not the file that I'm Let's Playing. This is my file that I have both completed and screwed up. So... And, like, I was sitting here at, like, 6:45 trying to start up. Okay, what am I going to let me set up what I'm going to let... And then the emulation PC was going, I was like, shit, what am I going to let...
What is it, buddy?
Let's start with you. You seem like you're going to be an
Listen to those purrs.
easy kid to beat. Oh, I can't do this team. Why can't I do this team? Oh, because I got the pendants. I got the pendants. Independence. Well, fine then. I didn't know what your restrictions were. So every so often, the game will be like, hey, you can't use these two items or these two classes. And it changes every so often. And it's one of those, oh, well, screw you. I didn't want to do this anyway.
Yeah.
So I can't use any of the Carnelian or Ruby pendants. So...
That sounds good, actually. Both Cirque and Pen. Tasty and delicious.
I have to say, what am I missing? Because my chat's also
Cirque said they're going to go out and get some burgers for dinner, and then Pen had turkey tenderloin. Some mushrooms. I haven't had dinner yet because I was trying to get caught up on some of my chores because I had just enough executive function to make it happen. And it was like if you give a mouse a cookie, but with time suck. So, haven't had dinner yet. I will remedy that later.
Take this. Switch that equipment. And then you also need something else. I don't have another amethyst pendant, though.
Hey, Papa. Hi.
But I could give you that.
Oh, is that what you want? You want the blanket? Like, screw you. I just want the fuzzy thing. No, I haven't shaved my legs in a while. I'm starting to be a fuzzy thing.
I feel as though that's a statement that I can also get behind. Just saying. Alright, let's put that on you. And then we'll put...
Oh wait, I missed an opportunity there, ladies.
There, you get a sapphire. There, now that team should be within your rules.
So this is my first time trying this. A friend of mine from Texas reached out a couple of days ago, actually, and I had posted something on Facebook that was like, "It's Pride Month. If you're straight and you want to talk to me, you have to pay me $20." She fucking did. So I wanted to get some Shiner. A little homesick for Texas right now. But just the regular Shiner buff wasn't like what I wanted. I wanted something summery. So this isn't bad. It's brewed with agave and lemon and natural flavor added. So I don't know about that last one, but it's not too bad. 4.2.
Well, I'm just dead.
I was gonna say, did you just get your ass owned?
Yeah, by a glacial rain build. At least I'm killing someone.
You gonna die.
I mean, yeah, I've lost this fight.
Girl, you in danger.
It's gonna rain. Yeah, I lost.
I haven't seen ghosts in so long. Where it's from? Girl, you in danger. But that was a well-timed, offhand comment. As you're dead.
I mean,
I haven't seen ghosts in a long time.
You gonna die. We made the joke today that our boss is basically Ollie Williams from Family Guy. It's gonna rain.
Oh, yeah.
But with like random information that's not necessarily needed. Like we had our team meeting. He's like, I'm gonna be out on Friday because my best friend is turning 50. I'm like, you didn't need to tell us. Like, you're our boss. You don't need to tell us why you're going to be out. Just like and
really,
the fact that he's on the other side of the country, I don't.
It is not going to impact you like at
all. And like, he's not even my direct boss. He's above my direct boss. So I'm like, it affects me even less.
Oh man. Ollie though.
Easy now.
What's it? It's raining.
It's going right. Would you like some soup? What kind? Chunky.
Chunky. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Honestly, you don't need to tell him why you're gonna be off either if you've requested the time off.
Yeah, and I don't like, but
None
like
yet.
he feels that like he just overly shares sometimes, and we're just like.
I point this out. Well, I follow up Penn pointing this out. But I am exactly the person who would be like, because I have this thing going on and I don't have any spoons left. I need to sleep. And
That's really it. I think that's because like the best part is when we started this meeting, it was he and my direct boss were like, we have to finish this meeting in under a half hour because we have another meeting with the cell phone team in half an hour. We have to be done with this. And so it's like, okay, let's be quick. And then like the unnecessary info dump. It's just like, this is adding time.
yeah.
And I get it because again, I'm very, very similar. Like I will say and do just stupid shit.
about my upcoming paycheck because I was like, oh, I could actually buy this thing that I'm out of need. I've been putting some of the window privacy film up, and I didn't get nearly enough, but it's also such a pain in the ass because my beautiful brain decided, let's get one that's horizontal stripes. So I'm trying to fucking level it on the window. So definitely time suck situation there. I'm honestly, since I bought so little of it, I'm honestly debating getting. But I want to do eventually I'd like to do all of the windows, but just the bottom pane, or the bottom.
Sash.
Yes, thank you. Words.
I know window parts. Why do I know? Why does my brain?
Good job.
Why does my brain know window parts?
But my priorities were going to be my bedroom and the 2 windows that face out towards the street, so that if I need to get up and get something after I've already I'm going to bed, I'm in a t-shirt and underwear, I don't have to put on a robe to go get something that I need. Yeah. You're not missing a whole lot, honestly. I mean, there were a few bits that were funny for a minute, and then...
Oop, not what I wanted to press. What, of the live stream?
She said. What?
Missed a few moments that weren't funny. Is that discussing what we're going through with the live stream?
Oh, no, Family Guy.
Ah.
But it was actually Drew that started that in the house. Or it just chunky. And just out of nowhere, apropos of nothing. And I was like, okay. Which is better than some of his other boyfriends have entered a room. So, yeah, yeah.
I never watched Family Guy or DC Comics binge with an Ollie. I mean, I do love Green Arrow. He is one of my... He's not my favorite DC character. That'd probably be Hal Jordan. Green Lantern. It's funny that there's so many green characters in DC. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane, I find some of his bits funny, and then I find other bits just try way too hard, or they don't know when to end the joke.
Or,
Or the punching down. I mean,
yeah.
Granted, he's been a lot better about that.
I wouldn't know, because I stopped watching his stuff.
So, I watched The Orville, which actually was a fantastic Star Trek show. It was trying. It raised, sociology questions, and it still had some jokes.
With me.
It did not take itself as seriously as any Star Trek show. And that says something because my favorite Star Trek show now is Lower Decks. So,
I love Lower Decks so much.
I'm so sad that this is going to be their last season.
I know.
And I want to really find who decided that and beat them. Flog them. Give them such a... Or no, what was it from a Knight's Tale? I will fong you?
Yes.
Alan Tudyk's, I will fong you.
Your entrails will
Will be
become
your
your extrails.
Grant me your strength.
I started losing interest when Adam West died. Before that, Carrie Fisher started. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of
Easy now.
I mean, and that's one thing I think I can kind of say about a lot of Seth MacFarlane stuff. It's maybe it's not a lot of his stuff that's funny, but it's a lot of the fact that he's friends with fucking everybody that's funny. Like, I will always lose my shit at the Director Bullock scenes in American Dad.
Yeah.
Just Patrick Stewart ranting about cocaine. Did you see
Calm down, Charlie. Calm down, Charlie. Calm down, Charlie.
Charlie, calm down.
Have you tasted the cocaine in the water?
Did you watch... Patrick Stewart did a very short-lived show where he was a talk show personality. Not dissimilar from, like, the Rush Limbaugh talking head type.
Yeah, I think I saw... I think I at least saw the first episode.
I watched it, and, like, the first bit that I remember seeing was him... He was high as shit because he had taken some edibles. And his valet, who was this, like, tiny British guy, was like, "Sir, I told you, they're like time-release vitamins." And I'm just like... And he's, like, standing on top of a car with, like, a baseball bat, and he's defending an escort who... He wasn't actually trying to pick up. He was legitimately asking directions. And the cop pulled them over, thinking that, obviously, old guy, escort.
Yeah.
And he was just high as a kite. And he was just like, "Stand back, madam, I'll defend you." And I'm just like...
I love that man.
It is going to be a tragedy of epic proportion the day that man finally passes away.
Don't put that into the universe. Don't do it. You shut your mouth.
We can't pretend like it's not going to happen.
I can pretend like it's not going to happen, and then have my reality shattered later down the road. But, like, let me have this. He will live forever. The entire cast of TNG.
I'll enjoy this.
Core cast.
All right.
They will live forever.
I've mentioned this before. So, TNG aired around the same time that Babylon 5 aired. Granted, TNG started earlier because it started in, what, 89? 88?
88.
I think Babylon 5 started in 94, but TNG was still on the air.
Yeah.
Because one of the big things is everyone was like, "Oh, Deep Space Nine is Star Trek Babylon 5," because they tried to pull a lot of elements from Babylon 5. And honestly, I think Babylon 5 did some better. Star Trek did some better. Like,
Yeah.
I really think Babylon 5 did the whole interstellar war thing a lot better than Star Trek did.
Well, I mean...
Because that was not a thing Star Trek was used to. Like,
Yeah, and also, like, the Dominion.
yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bad guys in Babylon 5 were telepathic spider monsters. So... Or angels. You could take your pick on how you really want to classify the bad guy in that one. You either get angels or telepathic spider monsters.
I don't like either of those. Unless you're talking like not biblically accurate angels.
So no, there's a race called the Vorlons in Babylon 5, who are one of the first ones, which are one of the. They were spacefaring races while we were still Neanderthal.
Okay.
Basically, like that's the level of difference. They have transcended physical form. They are beings of energy.
Ah.
And how they interfere with the younger races is they came to the younger races and started doing genetic experiments on them to start producing telepaths. Because they were the last of two major first one races. It was the Vorlons and the Shadows, which are the spider telepath monsters. There were a few other just like individual first ones scattered around, but like they just kind of kept to themselves. Because the whole thing is like when a race becomes so technologically advanced, they can actually leave the boundary of our galaxy, the Milky Way. Because like they're like, oh well, what's the space in between galaxies? We obviously don't see anything there. So that's the technological marker of, oh well, we've reached this this level of technological and evolutionary configuration where we can just planetary intergalactic.
Like the pendulum neck of Mr. Spock.
And so you had sides that were like, okay, are they really good or bad? Like they tried to do the Star Trek thing where it's like, one thing about Star Trek is like there's never really been a bad guy. Even the Borg is kind of like the closest that you get to the bad guy. But like
species
8472. That one's yeah. But like the Romulans, the Klingons, even the Ferengi, they're like, oh, these especially in Next Gen, like the Ferengi were meant to be kind of like the propped up bad guys for the first couple of seasons. And then it's like, no, even then it's like, okay, they're not the bad guy, they're just kind of shitty. Like, but that's just a cultural thing. Like,
yeah. I always hated it. It seemed like it relied on some very nasty stereotypes about Jewish people.
Oh, all of the
was...
early species depictions in Star Trek were horrible stereotypes.
But yeah, with each of them you can see it's what
you can
puts them apart is different values.
Yeah. Where you can kind of identify with them to a degree. Like, there's always something you can look at and it's like, okay, I may not like Quark, but I can identify with some of Quark's personality traits. Like, I can go, I understand why he is just the pragmatist that he is. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. Same with Odo.
Was so much better. I said Rom was so much better.
Rom was so much better.
Yeah, I get mad at Odo. Like, collaborator.
Yeah. But
I mean, I feel bad. Like, that was not a good way for him to start out his life. But also, fucking collaborator.
Yeah. But, he did at least, realize that he was not on the right side. And that's the thing, like, he grew, he learned.
But he was still a cop. And a cab.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you're never going to be able to fix that, Odo.
All cats are beautiful.
All cats.
And Odo cannot do a thing about it.
But anyway, the original point of this was that these two shows were going on very similarly. Over 50% of the cast of Babylon 5 is dead.
That's a horrible survival rate.
Right? Like, so much so that I'm like, is that show cursed? Do we need to put the remaining cast members in protective custody? Like...
Yeah.
Oh, no, wrong button. Pressing the wrong button. I could try building another team. I do like this team. I kind of want to just use this team to get all of my points that I need. And then I'll try building another team because it doesn't matter. But yeah, like, I follow a couple of them on Facebook. I've had a huge crush on two of them since I was a kid. In fact, one of them did guest spots on Star Trek. TV, Patricia Tallman. Do you remember the one episode where they start running into like weird shit happening on the Enterprise, and like one person ends up getting like stuck in the floor?
Yes.
That was her.
Oh.
Yeah. She was she also did another bit where she was like just a background bridge crew character and a transporter operator.
Huh.
She was also the stunt woman for Laura Dern in Jurassic Park.
I didn't know that.
She was yeah. She actually got her start as a stunt woman. So like she's but like she played Lita Alexander, redhead telepath. Yeah, I don't have to fucking type. And then there was Claudia Christensen, or Kristen, who played Commander Ivanova, and one of the things is
I've only just begun.
Ivanova is God. You will listen to Ivanova, and I'm like, yeah, I also still don't have a fucking type.
Take haste.
Yeah, but
Bless your heart.
I followed the two of them, and like they'll do cons together, or they'll do things like they do charity auctions, like all the time. Like they will sign stuff for charity auctions, and like Claudia did a cast photo. She's like, I have this photo. This is a personal photo that I got. It was so many of the cast members. It's all of them giving the finger. And it was so many of that cast. I can only remember the characters' names at this point. The person who played Dylan Mira Furlan, she passed away like last year, year before, and she's like, "This is my personal photo. I kept it because it's the only photo that I've like." We tried to get her to. She wouldn't. She was still being, somewhat,
Yeah.
respectable. But she's like, she signed the photo and then had a couple other signatures. She's like, this is my photo, but I'm doing it for auction. And I'm just like, I would love to spend money on that. I cannot afford that.
It's the story of my life about everything. And again, I'm still waffling on whether or not I want to go to GalaxyCon. So I had what may have been my last smoking cessation counseling appointment today. And she was like, do you foresee any stressors? I was like, well, my sister's going to move, and I can't be up there to help. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of worrying, but from here, where I can do nothing about it. And she was like, well, maybe, do you have anything fun planned for around that time, or something you want to go do? And I was like, I have so many things I want to go do. I cannot afford to do all of them. I just the number of concerts that I want to see this concert season. It's too much. I have to start turning tricks, I guess. I say that just as I'm about to launch into a story about doing some very vigorous hoeing. I have a boo-boo. motion was, of course, my wrists start just jacked up. And so I decided what will help is to put on my wrist brace. And it did. I wasn't, that weird bendy thing wasn't happening. But it also meant that every time, like, I started to pull back, I rotated on the shaft. And, I just ate my skin away.
I'm about to say, it took you a minute to get through that, but that was... You were, like, trying so very hard.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Walter Koenig's just... I love that guy. He's great. And I'm glad we still have him and George Takei, because that helps balance out Bill Shatner.
Right?
But yeah, no, I can't handle things.
He was on both.
Yeah.
And I swear, I hated him in Babylon 5. Bester is just the biggest asshole. Walter Koenig plays an amazing asshole. He's a telepath, and he's part of the Psi Corps, which is like the evil shadow organization that's totally not running everything on Earth. And like, human telepaths have a lot of restrictions. Like, if you are discovered to be telepathic, you either have to join the Psi Corps, which is basically just joining the Nazi party. Like, they will almost telepathically strip away your identity. In some cases, they do. Or you get put on telepathic suppressing medications that basically just turn you into a vegetable. So, like, and he plays a Psi cop, who is one of the division in Psi Corps that hunts down other telepaths. And he's just a dick. Like, one of the rules is if you are a telepath and you work for the Psi Corps, you cannot actively scan other people. Like, you cannot. He just fucking does it. He's like, oh, we're granted a little bit of leeway because of our position. He's like, fuck you, stay out of my head. There's one point where the command staff of Babylon 5 know that his character's name is Bester. They're like, Bester's coming. The last time that he was on the station, they didn't want to deal with him, so they gave him some of the meds that temporarily suppress your telepathic abilities. And he refused to do that again. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll have another thing. So he shows up into the commander's office, and they're sitting at the table, and they are surrounded by non-human telepaths. And he's like, what the shit is this? And it's like, well, yeah, we've got Minbari telepaths here. They're not as strong individually as human telepaths, but we figure this many can stop a Psychop. And he's like, you're just a dick. And I'm just like, I love it. Everything about it just...
What up, Aaron?
Welcome.
Yeah, yeah. He really is just such a dick.
But like Walter Kennedy, he played it so well. I loved it. I loved it so much. Which is why he's named Bester. Why his character is... I mean, he was just great in that. Like, because it is just the exact opposite of Chekhov. Like,
Yeah.
Chekhov's, he's a good guy, he's caring, he's compassionate, he's someone that the entirety of the rest of the crew can and will depend on. Bester's a dick. And I remember one time that he did an interview, he was talking about, it's like, I've played the good guy before, and, Chekhov will always hold a special place in my heart, but it's always fun to be a dick. Oh, I love it. I love it. So I did completely just rebuild this team from what I normally use. And a lot of these teams are, I feel like they are drastically underleveled. And they're not underleveled, I don't know what their gear complement is, because it seems like they're just, like, we stick with one attack and one attack only.
Forward.
Oh, I need to turn that off.
Allow me to mend your wounds. Not bad. Lay down.
Well, maybe I don't.
Hide more where that came from.
Seems like you're doing pretty alright.
So, this team, I forgot that Elaine at this point has a start of battle ability. So, I've basically just kind of put two of my favorite teams together. I've got Elaine and Melisandre, who I think work really well together.
Better heal up.
Which is why I paired them up in this, even though she's not the actual story character that you're supposed to end up marrying.
Yeah.
But I also put Berengaria and Gloucester. I keep calling him Gloucester, and people keep getting angry at me about it. But rapid order can get turned off. Extra initiative's alright.
What's up, Chester? Glow.
But so, they work really well together, because she's got a lot of, Meteor Slash is probably one of the best, single target, because, it's multi-hit, it does a fair bit of damage, especially now that they've been, that class has been buffed a little bit to get a little bit more attack from having two swords. And he's got a really good area. His spinning, when you're on a horse and you just jump into a fight and just start spinning on a horse, I feel like a blender is kind of the closest approximation.
I'm on a horse.
Jeremy, my brother, is just apparently my strongest single physical attacker at the moment, so he's just kind of here. And then you've got Berengaria and Gloucester, who she inflicts status effects on all of her attacks, and he just does extra damage to people who are afflicted with status effects. So, they need to have babies, and those babies would rule the world. It's a shame you can't, pair up other characters in this game. Because there's several that, I don't think I can get to my unit or character list. That's what I want. So some of the characters in this game, Lex, for example, he's your childhood best friend. He totally has a crush on Chloe. The two of them, just all of their rapport conversations was just kiss, just kiss. But none of the other characters will ever actually have a connected relationship, because it's open to where you can marry any of the characters. So they don't want to close that off by saying, oh, these two characters end up together. Like, they don't close that off. So it's just like, well, shit. But I want to see Lex and Chloe get together. And then there's another, like, Oclise. She's an angel. And there is Sharon. You meet the two of them together. Oclise joins your party. She's like, I need to rescue Sharon. Totally not my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped by bandits. And she's just, she's a priest. A helpless, non-violent priest. I, however, am a vengeful angel, and I will rescue my priestly girl. And you're like, okay, the two of them need to end up together. Do it. And it doesn't ever happen. And then I don't, well, do I have
They
them?
should do a dating sim so that you can...
I mean, so the thing is, like, there's not going to be a sequel to this game. I know there's not, and that saddens me. Because Vanillaware, the company that did it, never does sequels. They just move on to another project, do something completely new. Granted, this, as far as I know, has been their best-selling game of all time. So hopefully they'll revisit that policy.
Yeah.
But, if they did a sequel, I would love to see, like, you know, other characters ending up together as well. Like, you can, because, like, so this is a character I did not actually recruit correctly. I screwed up when I could have recruited him and didn't get him until the end of the game. He is the king of another nation who joins you. He is totally not in love with your cousin. And it's like, they actually do end up married in the epilogue, as long as you don't, for whatever reason, marry your cousin or Gilbert, because you can marry both of them. So as long as you don't, and even if you marry your cousin, I think she might still end up married to him. I don't know. But like, the two of them just kind of, yeah, they should be together. Like, and then you've got a couple other characters that's just like, okay, yeah. Are they gonna hook up? No? Okay. Well, sucks to be them, I guess. I don't remember who they are.
Jeez, I'm so tired.
It's one of the elves. So you've got Ralinor, who... No. Ralinor, who looks a little questionable in her outfit, and I've brought this up before. That is a choice for battle. She is totally not in love with the leader of the elf tribe. Where is she? That's not her. That's her sister. But she looks exactly the same. Just one is a dark elf, one's not, and the not dark elf has blonde hair instead of teal. But it's like, yeah, totally not in love with her. In fact, if you do the relationship dialogue that you're trying to get the questionable, it starts off with she's trying to gauge how good of a person Elaine is for, and then just accidentally ends up falling in love with him. And it's like, I have to see if you're a good enough man for Her Highness. And it's like, okay, cool. I've fallen in love with you.
Good news, everyone.
It's a suppository. Oh, man.
I should have saved that for the screenshot of my bill this morning.
That's yeah. I only use the characters that you get through the story to build. So I use the mercenaries to station at towns. And I will use mercenaries if there's a specific build that I want to try that requires more than one of a certain class. Because you don't get a lot of multiple classes. Like, you don't get any other Dark Knights other than Gloucester. You have to recruit. So, like, if you want to do a multi-Dark Knight build, or if you want Gloucester to be part of your cavalry-only unit, you can't do both. So, unless you hire a mercenary. But the game does throw a ton of unique units at you that you don't necessarily have to hire anyone.
Yeah.
But just say, oh, if you want a build that, you know, involves 2 spellcasters, more than likely you're going to have to hire a second spellcaster.
Yeah. What's
Hey,
up?
Zex. I have a squad. I've pieced this one together just now, and I really like it. It seems like it's doing a decent job. Let's see how I do against... that one I probably wouldn't do well against. That's a Unify build, which I can almost guarantee they're focusing around Glacial Rain again. Except it's not actually loading that team anymore, so they don't exist. So that's... They vanished. Let's do that team.
That was nice. It won't be nice here in like 5 minutes, but right now, that was nice.
But since I figured, since I wasn't intending to live stream this tonight, and B, I'm let's playing this, I can take this opportunity to get an idea of like what others like team builds I could do. I could try to build another team and see how it goes. I wanted to finish up all of my Jesus Christ. Oh, she had perfect. Okay, I'm like, how did you dodge all of those? It's like because she had they have an ability that's like I will dodge any physical attack, including the multi-hit ones. Oh, look, a dead guy. Yeah, your druid there, or your shaman, she can't do damage. She, like, don't give her more active points. She can't. I just killed the only person who can do any real damage to them. The lady with the giant rock hammer was your...
Ladies.
I mean...
The lady with the giant rock hammer. I don't want to know how much that toy costs.
I had a whole conversation with someone about bad dragon dildos. And I am still convinced to this day that those are not meant to be used. They are just art pieces that people have taken the concept and run away with.
At least try.
I mean, Rule 34, man.
Rule 30.
It happens in meat space too.
God, that is a phrase that has always just...
Not finished yet.
meat space.
It does that for a lot of people, which is why I say it.
I did just watch the episode of Letterkenny where they're like, don't say that word. Oh, what word? And they just do like the string of, like they say moist. It's like, oh, this is brought to you by the 3 Moisketeers. They just do that as a bit the entire time for every word that's... I've been exhausted all day, I don't know why. Go crash. Go sleep.
Go get some rest. Go get sleepies. And I hope you feel better tomorrow.
I mean, if it weren't for the fact that when my original plan crapped out, like, you were already on the way over, I'm like, I should just cancel tonight, and I don't have the patience.
You know.
And like I would just no, I'm just gonna
So it seems like a good chunk of us are dealing with a lot of
Today,
joie de vivre.
today has been the longest year.
Yes, it has.
Or as I like to say, what is today today?
I can't remember what led up to that. I was talking about my day, and then it kept on trying to say all day, and I said all year. And I was like, well, that too. Yeah. It's been a time.
Oh, I keep clicking on certain teams and they're like, oh yes, and then they go away as soon as I click them. When I played through this game, I ended up marrying one of the elves that were friends to the queen. I mean, there's really no wrong answer to who you marry in this game. Obviously, the game kind of like pushes you towards Scarlet, which I made a comment about Scarlet in my Let's Play.
Keep going?
And I'll bring it up here as well, because I feel like I can talk about it a little bit more in depth on a live stream where I am more comfortable saying the word fuck, for example.
Not finished yet.
So I hit her and didn't do any damage. I'm like, why did I not do any damage? I did damage there, though. That just...
He's gonna fuck you up.
I mean, that's what my guy on the horse does. Look at your man. Now back at me. Back at your man. Back at me. I'm on a horse.
Yeah. So what were you saying about Scarlet?
So I'm going to bring it up. So Scarlet is the priestess that the game kind of pushes you toward. Like, hey, you should marry her. And I am 100% convinced she is just someone's fetish.
Yes.
She's got that, like, turtleneck knitted sweater that is very popular in a lot of things. But then also an unnecessary underbust corset.
You know. Plus all of the bows, like, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's like I am fairly sure, and the fact that she's one of the few characters that gets jiggle physics, I'm just like,
yeah,
she's a priest. Well, in this case, a high priestess. She has been promoted.
You know, that does it for some people.
You know, you're not wrong. And it's not like I have much room to talk. Again,
Forgive
with
me,
the
Father.
for the, you know, I have a type, but I feel like this is just it's
several types just merged into one.
Yeah, the only thing she's really missing is a plaid skirt. I think I'd have to just bench her if she were wearing a plaid skirt. Like, if she were just, like, underbust corset plus a Catholic schoolgirl outfit, I'm just like, no, I just gotta step away from that. However, I do love the character designs. I fucking love Travis's design as a thief. He is just an amazing... Like, I actually like his unpromoted version better, where he's got that kind of like slightly armored cloak, because it's got those, versus the dual layer cloak that he has when he's promoted. But like, the character designs are awesome.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are a little over the top. That is That is a waist to chest to shoulder ratio
That
that
is-
cannot exist in nature.
That is the Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
And the goal of a lot of
Bodybuilders.
and wrestlers, like
Yeah.
and actual Greco-Roman wrestlers, and,
Yeah,
and the others.
I did use the Idealist's hand mirror on a bunch of characters to kind of change their color palette to get them all to match. So I like Scarlet and Blue a little bit better than the red.
What's up, Atelier?
But yeah, also like, so like Aramis and Leah are the same class. Just one, they're one of the few classes that have both genders available. Like you don't get any male priests. You get a male angel priest, but it's not quite the same. He gets his own kind of separate class.
Because y'all are fucking holy.
Well, I mean, we are. You don't get any male wyvern riders. They're all female. Not that you can tell with the hired units because they all... Well, she has a face. She has no face. You can't tell her.
She is no man.
Yes. Or like the arbalist. Like you don't get a male arbalist.
No. No.
But like what I love is, so her outfit, she's got that like little mini skirt tunic going on. Nothing underneath. Meanwhile, he at least gets pants. On the contrary, though, that's a male elven archer. He's
Some
not wearing
very,
pants.
Very nice legs.
He's got the best legs out of fucking everybody. And he's not wearing any. He's wearing thigh highs, and that's it.
You know?
Also, I don't know what's going
Is
on
the
with.
wind blowing in Scotland?
It's like I don't know what's going on with his ass, but like he's just like
There's...
so much going on there, right? So much.
It's uncomfortable. Like, I mean, aside from looking physically uncomfortable, like...
And then there's everyone's favorite, furry. Or everyone's favorite Dami Mommy.
So I finally finished the episode of Critical Role that I started a year and a half ago. Where Jester gives a bugbear a tattoo. And like Yasha just walks up with her sword and shaves him so that he can get the tattoo and like yeah. He was that guy.
Okay, so that's one of the male angel priests that you can get. I don't know if that's the one that's named or if that's just a generic unit. But I'm fucked. I didn't realize who was in this team. And the lady with the giant shield and the giant hammer, she's gonna mess me up because I can't heal.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
I'll enjoy this.
Not bad.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose this one. Mostly because you keep jumping in the way.
I shall handle this.
You need to stop jumping in the way.
What is your clan's motto?
This I'll defend. Look.
Boring.
God, really? Yes. And now they have even more HP than they're supposed to. I have like a 1% hit chance for all of this. This is great. And then when I do hit, I'm doing no damage. That's a good team. I did not realize who was in that back row. Because that's... Yeah.
She's a bad manager.
She is. That is a good pairing.
We strive for progress.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. – 1% hit rate. I like that team. I do. That's... Oh, hey, I finally took someone out. Not that it matters, because you've taken out 3 of my people. Well, Berengaria might do some damage with this, but probably not. Yeah, because they've got the shield, so... Yeah. Too little, too late. Did you just sneeze? Little sneeze. Oh no, he's like, I'm gonna bury myself. Bury myself next to Dad. I am grumpy.
Hey, buddy.
I get the feeling, son. I've been grumpy today too.
Yeah, so, what started the, aside from the bugbear furry, Cass texted me today, and it was just, oh my god, you have to watch the new trailer for the new D20. And I was like, oh, okay. And I did. And I'll be watching this season of D20. It's pretty great.
I'm going to piece together another team, because I want to try something new. I'm going to leave a couple of teams together, because why not? Alright, let's see. Who do we have that would be interesting to use? Let's do sort by unit. That way I get all the people who aren't already being used. So
Why does it my upload so bad? Sorry. I'm having a moment.
I mean, I'm always having a moment. Okay, what strategy do I want to build around? Let's...
I mean, being able to debuff everything is pretty handy. It's been used against you with some dazzling effects.
So yeah, there's an interesting stun build that I could try.
I am checking. Leave me alone. I get 2 alerts for Durham because it's like I have the pin placed on Durham, and then it also lets me know about my location. So I get 2 alerts for Durham about everything. Oh, well, there is a little blob. Or there was a little blob. Are we getting another one? That was... Oh, they're doing the future casting. I hate it when they do that.
Oh yeah, that's...
I went Storm Tracker, and that's it. But yeah, we got a little blob of rain coming. Which is cool, because when I got that alert about 3 hours ago, nothing happened.
Alright, let's...
Which means I have to go walk around all of the yard to water everything and not just up against the house.
Let's see, I could do this. Where's Unify? I don't use her. So there's an entire build around one character named Unify. who has the Glacial Rain, which we saw in the first one that but I don't like doing those builds because I don't like the Charged Impetus skill that has to be used for it, because I can never get it to work right. Where are you? Try order joined. She would have joined toward the late game. There you go. And let's... Who else? No, why did I leave? Who else would be a good addition? Maybe Alban? Or maybe Selvi. Selvi might be better. Okay, let's build this team. So, she has an ability called Rage of the Fairies. Starts off...
It's Pride Month, y'all.
Attack a row of enemies with magic first strike, inflicts stun, grants one summon fairy. The fairy abilities do more damage when you have multiple fairies. So I'm actually going to start that. I can leave Curing Heal. I can turn Curing Heal off. We got Primus Edge. Doesn't really matter. Attack enemies with a row of magic. But we want Lightning Shaker to really be the primary effect, because it inflicts stun. So we're going to do stun. And then I'm pretty sure I have a sword that inflicts stun. Maybe I don't. I may not have a sword that inflicts stun. Or it may just be an elf ability, and I'm blanking on that it's not actually Aramis. Let's check. And check one of our elf grabby butt guys. Lightning Blade stuns a single enemy. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. And turn off Cursed Swamp, because we don't need that. We're gonna give you, I know there's an axe that gives stun. Inflicts stun. It's not a strong axe, but
it is stunning.
But it is stunning. I'll give you an Elite Beret. I'm going to change that. And we're going to set that to... Where's condition? Not stunned. And I'm actually going to give her a different staff. There's one... Not a Phantom Knight. Dustbound.
Yeah.
It
Sandstorm.
gives Sandstorm. However, giving her this is going to be difficult because I need to give her something that gives her an AP that is not one of the... There. So that will blind all enemies. And then I'll turn that off. And she will Glacial Rain. You stun, you stun. Let's try that team out. This is probably not great because I really just kind of threw this together a little hastily. but I'm curious. Let's get a new set of people.
It's much tastier when it warms up just a little bit.
Just a... You... Oh, I can't do this. She's a forbidden class. Fuck. Damn it. Okay. Oh, darn. Well, let's just try... Oh, I can't use that unit either, because they've got they've got an item that I can't use. We'll throw out Virginia's. It doesn't matter. Damn it. I really want to try this team, but I can't because, well, I could try it against another mock fight.
That was rude.
Guards up.
So this is a team that I put together that's basically a story team.
Victory will be ours.
Your cousin, Virginia, somehow not next in line for the throne. I don't quite understand the succession. I guess maybe younger sibling to your mom. But so she's not next in line for the throne. But she was sent out of the country when the military coup happened and hidden in another country. But the other people with her are members of the squad of knights that were being trained by your mom, called the Rose Knights. And Virginia was going to be the leader of them once she became of age.
The royal family.
And so it's like each of these people are one of that squad. And so like they don't really have a great synergy together. They don't really have any skills or stats that like super work well. But let's go to a mock battle. Let's try her that team against my strong team. Let's see what happens.
Let's have some fun.
I have a feeling I'm going to get my ass handed to me with this stun team. I don't think it's going to work.
Begin.
Yeah, especially because I've got debuff immunity on everybody. So the stun's not going to work for this. But I'm putting up more of a fight than I was expecting to.
Not finished yet.
I was putting up more of a fight than I was expecting to. And there's the debuff immunity here. Both of them are in the front row again. And debuff immunity. And they're all stunned, and someone's dead. Yeah. This was a bad team to go against. I should not have gone against a team that has just debuff immunity. Let's try those two. That might be a little bit more of a better team. Nope, because your first ability is just protect against a single debuff.
Make ready. There's fight in me yet. Is this the
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
Ant?
Well,
Your strike.
that will actually turn the tide a little bit.
Observe greatness.
Not enough, it seems, but
The win is ours.
and Glacial Rain. I can't do any damage to her at all. That is insane. But I won.
Yay!
Let's try it against this group of people on horses. Look at my horse is amazing.
Oh, Faye. Got some
Alright,
arrows
so I
for
stun one person.
you. Your strike.
He's gonna die.
I won't hold back.
Darude Sandstorm. Hey Aaron, how does Sandstorm work? They're gonna miss everything.
Your strike.
Because blindness is great. It isn't. Oh well, that's. Oh
Have some of
well. Okay, that team's working out better than I was expecting to. I want to do a little bit more damage with her. Like I really feel like. What is Glacial Rain? It's physical potency. Okay. I could take that off. What is the oh. Poison and death blow immunity. Lips ring. Lips's ring.
Badgers. Look, there's a badger's ring. Look, if we've built this large wooden badger's ring.
Also, why do I have so many people with shitty equipment? Like, I've got royal scarves, and I've still got people equipped with silk scarves. It's like, why do I have that? I kind of understand with the spectacles, because I don't have enough mirrored spectacles. I mean, honestly, that would probably be better for you. Having... and then...
Dream crown.
I do love the Dream Crown. It's 1 active and all stats plus 5. And then there's another crown. The Ancient Crown, which is 1 passive and all stats plus 5. And you can have both of them
Nice.
equipped. So you could be wearing multiple crowns.
Yeah, you know, like you do.
At least I'm pretty sure you can
Just
have.
grab 2 BK crown hats and
Can I do that? Can I actually have 2 crowns? Yes, I can. I can have both crowns equipped. Because, you know... Well, so I'm used to Team Fortress 2, which one of the big things in Team Fortress 2 is hats. You get crates throughout the game, and you can buy keys to unlock those crates. And inside are weapons, accessories. Most of the accessories are hats, but there are some other cosmetic accessories. And these accessories have the ability to have certain particle effects. And they built their entire economy based off that. They actually had a well-known economist from the UK on Valve's payroll to help set this up. Because TF2 for a very long time had a more stable economy than some countries. Because you knew, like, keys, you have to buy keys for a set dollar amount.
yeah.
But there's a secondary market where you can trade scrap metal that you can get in-game for keys. Or you could just trade, like, and because there was that, you know, real dollar amount versus, you know, in-game materials amount, there was set prices for a lot of things. Like, oh, well, you say this hat's worth, you know, 20 keys. That means it's worth this amount of real money. So that's this amount of other, like, it all worked really well. And so there were so many hats, because that was the joke. It's like, it's Hat Simulator, Hat Fortress 2. Because those were the first things that got these effects. So like at the start, they were derpy effects. Like, it was the TF2 symbol that just kind of like circled around their head. And then they got like more in depth. Like, they got some really fancy effects. Some of these things look really cool. And so like, you got a really cool particle effect on a really cool hat. That's obviously going to be a really fucking expensive hat. Well, one of the hats that they introduced is called a towering tower of hats. And it's like 5 of the hats in the game stacked on top of each other. In like a Seussian style. Like, it's kind of curved off to the side.
Yeah, that sounds like something TF2 would do.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm just now picturing a crown on top of a crown with, like, a weird particle effect. Because, like, some of those particle effects were weird. Like, there's like, why did someone take the time to program this into the game? Because there were a couple that were just, like, people hated because the particle effects were so noticeable. And because it was hats only, there was a period of time where snipers were just having a field day. Because it's like, oh, they just see a particle effect, pop! Just aim for the particle effect, you're gonna get a headshot. Like, oh, it was great.
I every time I hear anything about Team Fortress 2, I imagine that mashup with Thomas the Tank Engine. The banger bus is coming.
We like to party. We like to party. Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I want to try this and see if I can actually get this to work.
Well, that and what's his face and all of his questionable medical training practice.
Oh, the medic? Oh my god, Amber sent me this earlier today. I'll post this in the Discord for later.
See you later, Aaron.
Bye, Aaron! But yeah, Amber's like, my youngest child sent this to my oldest child today. It's the medic from TF2 looking at a piece of paper, adjusting his eyes, and, well, according to this, you're a little bitch.
Yeah.
And like, Amber told me it's like her youngest will send so many TF2 medic memes. Just, she sent another one to her like last week that was just like, she's like, I don't appreciate the cussing, but at the same time, I love that my kid can come to me with, you know, I don't think I have it saved.
I introduced the smoking cessation counselor. That's actually really hard to say. Smoking cessation. Too much sibilance. But I introduced her to the idea of ominous affirmations. So I think she's gonna end up having fun with that.
I mean, I'm gonna have a field day when I just start going, and just look at Amber's youngest and say, and when the patient woke up, his skeleton was missing, and the doctor was never heard from again. Anyway, that's how I lost my medical license. Or, like, we're going to the beach in July, and I want to make friends with a seagull, because I'm going to name him Archimedes, which is the name of the medic's pigeon. Or dove? I don't know. know which one it is. But he's just like, in the skit, Archimedes is rooting around inside the open chest cavity of the Heavy. And like he pops out of his large intestines. And he's like, Archimedes, no, get out of there. It's filthy. Birds.
Yeah. I was gonna say you should just get a bird, but don't. I don't know why people find having birds as pets
So there was
so interesting.
one bird I wanted to get because he had the most personality that I've ever seen. He was at the pet store near work, Petco there, and like I'd go in with Libet before the world came to a screeching halt, and he would hang upside down from the cage and act like a bat to get people's attention, and then he'd walk upside down closer to the cage, just be like, and like he'd nod, like he's like he knew he was getting people's attention. I'm just staring at him like, if I didn't have cats that would look at you like your dinner, I would bring you home. Because like that's one thing I can't ever justify. Like if I have cats or dogs, I will not own like rabbits or guinea pigs or bird. Like I won't own another creature that's a prey creature to what I own, because I know that's just going to cause that other little creature so much anxiety that I just don't want to subject him to that.
Yeah.
Like, some creatures that I know dogs and turtles have a weird relationship. Every dog I've ever owned just does not understand what the fuck a turtle is, and it bothers them. It's like, this rock is moving, and that is not acceptable.
Well, it turns out if you have pugs, though, they're low enough to the ground to be like, oh, there's like
There's a face.
Whole face and body and everything.
Well, so like my brother had a dog growing up named Shadow, and she was a lab mix. I forget they said she was mixed with, but that was the breed that we thought she was the mix. And it's like, no, she is 99% black lab. Like, she did not understand what a turtle. Like, she knew turtles had arms and legs and a head, but it was still a rock. It's like, why does this rock have a head? Why is this rock moving? Why is this rock hissing at me? And like, she would push it with her nose and like bring it to the house and be like, human, the fuck is this?
Fix it. I'm sorry to hear that, I tell you. That sucks.
What's up?
Brother's dog passed away in his sleep yesterday.
Oh, that's always rough.
Yeah. My little guy made it to 17 years, and that last year was pretty rough for him.
Yeah. But yeah, it always sucks losing a pet. I still randomly think about pets. Like, I was thinking about Gracie the other day.
I was thinking about Gracie the other day too.
Fuck are you doing, Gracie?
Maybe there's just a vibe
Yeah.
of old lady bitchiness.
Well,
I love that cat so much.
she was such a grump, especially in her old age. I loved it. I also loved that I could be like, what's your name, Gracie? Meow. Like, you could ask her a question and she would meow. And she'd know when you were asking a question, as opposed to just saying something. Like, if I just said something to her, like, it's time to go, Gracie, she'd just ignore me. But if I said, what time is it, Gracie? Meow. She would always respond to questions. I don't know if there's a change in the inflection of voice that she could pick up on, but my favorite was, what's your name, Gracie? Or what does the cow say, Gracie? Because all she could do was meow. But then, like, she got so grumpy at her old age, especially when we got the boys, because they were kittens. She's just like, she would stand on top of the fridge and occasionally, like, Axis would jump up on the counter and be like, I'm going to chase after, and she'd just smack him off the counter into the floor, and he's like, oh, well, I'm not going after Gracie. Like, she's like, I will run from you until I hit a certain spot, and then I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to deck you. And that's when they kind of realized, okay, let's not fuck with this cat.
She was the one who was eating the bread, wasn't she?
Yeah. She would jump up on the counter and she would chew into the loaves of bread.
Yeah.
I don't understand what her I fed her
Hey,
all the time.
I'm a fan of carbo loading. I get it.
But like she had a thing for bread, and I've never had a cat, and it's like it's honey wheat bread. It's not even like it's some sort of specific bread. It was just no, I want bread.
Trying to eat in solidarity with you, I guess.
Yeah.
Just give her some peanut butter.
But yeah. Anyway, that's been the stream for this evening. We're about out of time. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed.
It's good to see everybody.
I do apologize that I kind of had to change games at the last second. Change lanes at an intersection. Change lanes while speeding.
I have some paper.
Be gentle. I'm just gonna piss and moan like an impotent jerk. Bend over and take it up the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Liar, Liar is just gonna be one of those movies that just I will quote until that's I'm gonna be on my deathbed and I'm just gonna be gentle.
Man. If I were a boxer.
I want my last words in this life to be that. If I were a boxer, I'd bounce those things like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that uplifting note.
Yeah, hey, you ain't gonna laugh.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Same hat time, same hat channel. Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern. Hopefully I'll have something that I'll be able to live stream and successfully live stream it at that time. I'll see if I can get my emulation PC up and running. If not, I will start from scratch again. But yeah, otherwise I've got Unicorn Overlord going up during the week, so you can watch the actual Let's Play of that rather than me just dicking off into Colosseum. But yeah, so, see you all next week. So until then, later everyone. Take care.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Okay, Debbie, bye-bye. Axis, homie, you've been so good all night.
He's like, I know the change of voice. I don't want to leave.